Commander Lisa Bennett stood frozen on the bridge of the UES Intrepid. The message on the big screen made her stomach drop. The ship was quiet. Too quiet. "They took our people," she said, trying to keep her voice from shaking. "The whole colony on Proxima Centauri B. 5,000 of our people." Admiral William Carter walked up next to her. His face, normally calm, now looked like stone. His gray hair and the scars on his face showed his many years in space. He had seen Earth's first steps into the stars, but he had never seen this. "What do they want?" he asked in a low voice. From his tone, Lisa knew he expected bad news. Lisa touched the screen to scroll through the message. "They want our knowledge. 10 exabytes of Earth's science and art. They want our faster-than-light tech, and they want us to leave the Centauri star system." She paused. "They call themselves the Varkani Imperium. They say they've been watching us for years." William shook his head. "And they think they know us?" "They say they do." "Then they have a lot to learn," William said. The 20 people on the bridge all looked at each other. Earth had met 4 alien species since they started traveling between stars 30 years ago. But this was the first time any aliens had acted with such clear anger toward humans. "Sir," called out Communications Officer Gary Hudson from his station. "Another message is coming in. With video this time." The main screen changed. Now they saw a tall, bug-like creature. It had a shiny blue shell and many eyes that didn't blink. When it spoke, its mouth parts clicked and moved in strange ways. "Humans of Earth," said the computer voice that translated the alien's words. "We have watched your kind and learned that you care too much about each person's life. This is your weakness. We will use it against you. You have 7 Earth days to give us what we demand. If you don't, we will kill your colonists one by one. To show we are serious, we will send proof tomorrow." The screen went black. Lisa looked at William. His jaw was tight with anger. "What do we do, sir?" The Admiral turned to Lieutenant Jack Nelson at the weapons station. "Jack, how fast can the 3rd Fleet get to Proxima Centauri?" Jack typed quickly on his screen. "At top speed, sir. 6 days and 14 hours. "That will have to do," William said. He turned to Lisa. "Send word to Earth Command. Tell them we're heading to Proxima Centauri as fast as we can go." "Yes, sir." "And," William added, "send a reply to our new bug friends." Gary looked up. "What should I say, sir?" "Keep it short," William said with narrow eyes. "Just tell them. Message received. Stand by for response." No need to show them what we're really thinking. As everyone moved to follow his orders, William motioned Lisa over to a quiet corner of the bridge. "Commander, I need you to call all senior officers to the war room in 1 hour. We need a plan." "I'll make it happen, sir." Lisa hesitated. "What? About our colonists?" William put his hand on her shoulder. "We're bringing every one of them home, I promise you that." He looked out the large window at the stars streaking by. "These Varkani have made a big mistake, Lisa. They think they understand humans because they've been watching us, but they've missed something important about who we are." "What's that, sir?" "When someone threatens one of us, they threaten all of us." William's eyes were hard as steel. "And we don't scare easily." Lisa nodded, feeling a little better. "I'll get everyone to the war room." As she walked away, the ship's AI, Sarah, appeared as a small blue figure on William's personal display. "Admiral," Sarah said quietly, "I've analyzed the Varkani message. Their ship signatures match some strange readings we got near Jupiter last year. I think they've been in our solar system." William frowned. "So they've been spying on us up close." "It seems that way, sir. What else do we know about them?" Sarah's image flickered. "Not much, sir. Their technology seems more advanced than ours in some ways. Their ships use a different kind of energy source, and based on their physical form, they evolved from hive insects." "Hive insects," William repeated. "That explains a lot. Species like that often don't value individual lives the same way we do." "Correct, sir. In many hive species, workers are seen as replaceable parts of the greater whole." William thought about this for a moment. So they expect us to value our colonists' lives more than our technology and territory? That would be my analysis, yes, Sarah agreed. Then they've made their first mistake, William said. They're right that we value life, but they're wrong about how we respond to threats. The Admiral spent the next hour reviewing everything they knew about the Varkani and the Proxima Centauri system. When he entered the war room, 15 senior officers waited for him around a large table. Ladies and gentlemen, he began, we face an emergency. The colony on Proxima Centauri B has been taken by a hostile alien force called the Varkani Imperium. They're holding our people hostage and demanding we give them our technology. He touched a button and a 3D map of the Proxima Centauri system appeared above the table. We have 6 days to reach the system, he continued. We know very little about their military strength or exactly where they're holding our people. But we know this. We're going to get our colonists back. Captain Diane Russell, who led the fleet's special forces, spoke up. How many ships do they have, sir? Unknown, William admitted. But Sarah has detected at least 3 large vessels in the system. And we have 7 ships in the 3rd Fleet, Diane said. If their tech is better than ours, then we'll be smarter, William cut in. Remember, they don't understand us. They think they do, but they've made a key mistake. He looked around at the determined faces of his officers. They think that by threatening innocent lives, they can make us give in to their demands, William said. They see our compassion as weakness, but they don't understand what happens when humans are threatened. Lisa smiled slightly. We don't give in. We fight back. Exactly, William nodded. And we have another advantage. They're overconfident. They think they have us figured out. Dr. Olivia Wright, the ship's lead scientist, raised her hand. Admiral, if they send this proof tomorrow, we might learn more about where they're holding the colonists. Good point, William said. Olivia, I want you to analyze every frame of whatever they send us. Look for clues about the location, the colony's condition, anything that might help. Yes, sir. The rest of you, William continued, I want options. How do we approach the system without being detected? How do we find and rescue the colonists? How do we deal with the Varkani ships? I want plans on my desk in 12 hours. Indeed, the meeting broke up. Lisa stayed behind with William. Sir, she said quietly, what if they start killing colonists before we arrive? William's face darkened. Then we make sure those deaths weren't for nothing, and we make the Varkani regret ever crossing paths with humanity. Lisa nodded. She had served under William for 5 years and had never seen him this determined. One more thing, Commander, William said as she turned to leave. Send a personal message to Earth Command. Tell them that no matter what the Varkani demand, no matter what they threaten, we have one answer for them. And what's that, sir? William's eyes were cold. We don't pay ransom. Ever. 24 hours later, the proof from the Varkani arrived. The crew of the UES Intrepid gathered on the bridge to watch. The screen showed 10 human colonists on their knees. Tall, bug-like aliens with weapons stood behind them. The room was cold and gray with strange symbols on the walls. Commander Lisa Bennett felt sick but forced herself to watch. She needed to see everything, to remember everything. These were her people. Record this, Admiral William Carter ordered, his voice tight. Every second. The Varkani leader stepped into view. Humans of Earth, as promised, we show you that we are serious. Your colony is under our control. Meet our demands or these humans will be the first to die. William's hands gripped the edge of his chair. Focus, everyone. Look for anything that might tell us where they are. Dr. Olivia Wright was already working. Her fingers flew across her screen as she analyzed the video. Sir, look at the window. In the background, she said. That's not the planet's surface. The light angle is wrong. The video ended with a final warning. 6 days remain. William turned to Olivia. What did you see, Doctor? Olivia pulled up the video again and zoomed in on a small window visible in the background. This light pattern here? It's from the star, but it's not filtered through an atmosphere. And this, she pointed to a barely visible line across the floor, is an artificial gravity field. They're not on the planet. Lisa moved closer to the screen. They're on a space station? Yes. Olivia nodded, her eyes bright with discovery. And there's more. This radiation signature here, she pointed to a slight glow near the edge of the frame. That's from their power core. It has a very specific pattern. William leaned forward. Can you track it? If we get close enough, yes. Every power source has a unique signature. It's like a fingerprint. Good work, William said. Keep analyzing. I want to know everything about that station before we arrive. Meanwhile, on Earth, the United World Government held an emergency meeting. President Victor Ellis sat at the head of a long table. The faces around him were grave. The Varkani message has been received by every major government, said Defense Secretary Catherine Walsh. Her short red hair framed a face lined with worry. People are afraid. They want to know what we're going to do. What about giving them part of what they want? Asked Diplomatic Corps Director Frank Rodriguez. Maybe just the cultural database? We could buy time while the fleet gets in position. Catherine shook her head. No. If we show weakness now, they'll demand more later. And what about the next alien species that decides to take our people? We'll be setting a dangerous example. Victor looked around the table. He had been president for just 8 months. This was not what he had expected to face. Admiral Carter and the Third Fleet are already on their way to Proxima Centauri. He's proposed a rescue mission. With all due respect, Mr. President, Frank said, running a hand through his thinning hair. A rescue attempt could get all the hostages killed. And what message does giving in send? Catherine asked sharply. That humans will cave when threatened? That our principles mean nothing when we're scared? The Varkani and any other watching aliens would see that as a weakness to exploit. Victor nodded slowly. He understood both sides. What we do now will shape how other species see us for years to come. He turned to his communications director. Prepare a message for Earth and all colonies. Everyone needs to know what's happening. Later that day, President Ellis stood in front of the world. His image was broadcast to every corner of Earth and to every human outpost in the solar system. Citizens of Earth and her colonies, he began, today we face a direct threat from an alien civilization. The Varkani Imperium has taken our people hostage on Proxima Centauri B and demanded ransom. He paused, looking straight into the camera. Throughout human history, giving in to such demands has never brought peace. It has only led to more demands, more threats. He stood taller, his voice growing stronger. I have approved a rescue mission, led by Admiral William Carter and the Third Fleet. And to the Varkani, our message is clear. Humans protect their own. We will not abandon our people, we will not give up our technology, and we do not pay ransom. Ever. Far away, the Varkani leadership received Earth's official answer. The High Commander's mouth parts clicked rapidly as he read the message. They refuse our terms, he said to his officers. As we thought they might. Prepare to kill the first group of humans. His second-in-command shifted nervously. High Commander, their fleet is coming. Perhaps we should think again about our plan. These humans seem not like we expected. They are simple and emotional. The High Commander dismissed the worry. They care too much about individual lives to risk a fight. They will give in when we kill some of their people. Send the video of the killings directly to their ships. Back on the Intrepid, Lisa and the crew watched in horror as the execution video played. 5 colonists, 3 women and 2 men, stood in a line. Varkani soldiers pointed weapons at them. Just before the aliens fired, one of the colonists, an older man with gray hair, looked directly at the camera. He wasn't scared. He looked angry and determined. Remember Proxima, he said clearly. The shots rang out. The bridge of the Intrepid fell silent. Admiral William Carter's deep voice broke the stillness. Send our answer. The message that went back to the Varkani was short. We got your message. We will answer in kind. You have 6 days to free our people unhurt. After the message was sent, William called Lisa to his private office. The small room had few personal items, just a photo of a mountain lake and a small model of his first ship. Commander, he said, I want your honest opinion. Are we doing the right thing? Lisa thought carefully before answering. If we give them what they want, sir, it won't end with Proxima Centauri. They'll learn that taking humans gets results. More people will suffer in the long run. William nodded. My thoughts exactly. He looked at the star map on his wall, at the small dot. That was Proxima Centauri. We're going to lose more colonists before we get there. We have to be ready for that. The crew is angry, sir, Lisa said, especially after watching the executions. They want payback. Anger can be useful, William said, but not if it makes us careless. We need clear heads. He paused. You know, the Varkani made one critical mistake. What's that, sir? They think killing our people will make us give up, William said. They don't understand that it will only make us more determined. Lisa nodded. Because we're human. Exactly. William stood up and straightened his uniform. The Varkani think they're dealing with scared, weak creatures who will do anything to avoid loss of life. They're about to learn that humans are something else entirely. What are we, sir? William's eyes were hard as he looked at the execution video frozen on his screen. We're the species that crawled out of the mud, survived ice ages and asteroids, fought countless wars against ourselves and still reached for the stars. We value life, yes? But we're also the most stubborn, most vengeful, most protective species in the known galaxy. He turned off the screen. And the Varkani just made 5 billion of us very, very angry. The UES Intrepid raced through space, leading the 7 ships of the Third Fleet toward Proxima Centauri. In the ship's war room, Admiral William Carter stood before a large screen that showed the faces of his ship captains. The Varkani have shown us who they are, William said, his voice steady but angry. They think they know how humans work. They think we'll give up when threatened. They're wrong, sir, said Captain Samantha Mitchell from the UES Dauntless. Her dark skin contrasted with her white uniform. Those killings didn't scare us. They just made us more determined. Exactly, William nodded. Our scientists have been studying the Varkani. They think these aliens came from hive insects like bees or ants. In such species, single lives don't matter much. It's why they thought killing our people would scare us into giving up. They can't understand that killing humans doesn't weaken us. It unites us. Commander Lisa Bennett touched a button, and a 3D map of the Proxima Centauri system appeared floating in the air. We've found where they're keeping the hostages. Dr. Wright figured it out. Dr. Olivia Wright, a young scientist with glasses and curly hair, stepped forward. The space station has several layers of protection, energy shields, weapons, and gravity fields. But, she smiled slightly, their power system has a weak spot. Their shields can't stay at full strength when they fire their weapons. Lieutenant Daniel Perry, head of the fleet's special forces, leaned forward. His muscled arms rested on the table. My team can use that gap. We need perfect timing and something big to distract them. William studied the station model. The Varkani have 3 warships in the system. We'll attack them directly while Daniel's team sneaks onto the station. Sir, Lisa spoke up. What about the people on the planet? What if the Varkani attack them when they see us coming? The 4th Fleet is leaving Mars now, William answered. They'll protect the planet as soon as we deal with the ships in station. As they kept planning, Dr. Alan West, the fleet's psychologist, raised his hand. Admiral, we need to think about the hostages. After seeing their friends killed, they'll be scared, maybe in shock. They might not act normally. William nodded. Good point. Lieutenant Perry, your teams need to be ready for scared civilians. Your main job is getting the hostages out safely. Yes, sir, Daniel replied. My people know what to do. The meeting went on for hours. Every officer knew exactly what they needed to do. The plan had backup plans, and those had their own backups. Nothing was left to chance. Meanwhile, the Varkani High Commander was getting frustrated. The human fleet kept coming, and Earth had not sent any more messages. They can't really plan to attack us, he chittered to his officers. Our scans show their weapons are not as good as ours. His tactical officer showed him some human messages that the Varkani had picked up. What the Varkani didn't know was that Earth's intelligence services had let these messages be found on purpose, as part of a trick. It seems they are arguing among themselves, the tactical officer reported. Many of their leaders don't want to fight. As I thought, the High Commander's mouth parts clicked with satisfaction. Kill 5 more hostages. Send the video to their fleet and their planet. Increase the pressure. The killings were carried out, but the human fleet didn't change course or speed. They kept coming. On the Intrepid, Chief Engineer Maria Lopez knocked on the Admiral's door after watching the new execution video. Maria was short but strong, with skilled hands that could fix almost anything. "Sir, I noticed something in the background of that video," she said when William let her in. "Their reactor is running at 93% power. That's near the top of what it can do. They're powering up something big, probably their main weapon." William thought about this news. "So they're getting ready for us." "Good. That means they're taking power from other systems, including life support and security inside the station," Maria confirmed with a small smile. William smiled too, for the first time in days. "Tell Lieutenant Perry, that's his way in." As the Third Fleet got closer to the Proxima Centauri system, everyone made final preparations. Soldiers checked their weapons, doctors got medical bays ready for wounded, and engineers made last adjustments to shields and weapons. Lisa found William standing alone by a window, looking out at the stars. "Admiral, can I ask you something?" He nodded. "What if we're too late? What if they kill all the hostages before we get there?" William sighed. "Then we make sure it never happens again. We show the Varkani and every other species watching that. Taking human hostages is a terrible mistake." "The crew is ready," Lisa said. "I've never seen them so focused." "It's personal now," William replied. "The Varkani made it personal when they killed our people." On the station orbiting Proxima Centauri b, the human hostages huddled together in large cells. They had been separated from family members, given little food, and forced to watch as the Varkani killed their friends. In one cell, a young teacher named Amy Rivera tried to keep spirits up. "The fleet is coming," she whispered to the others. "Earth won't abandon us." "How do you know?" asked an older man, his face thin from lack of food. "Because we're human," Amy said simply, "and humans never leave their people behind." In another cell, Engineer Paul Foster had been secretly working on the door lock when the guards weren't looking. He had almost figured it out when a guard caught him. The insect-like alien dragged Paul from the cell. "This one will be next," the guard chittered to his fellow soldiers. "The High Commander wants another execution soon." Back on the Intrepid, William sat in his private quarters. On his desk was a photo of his family, his wife Susan, his son Greg, and his daughter Ellen. He touched the picture gently, then opened a drawer and took out a small wooden box. Inside was a handwritten note, a tradition dating back hundreds of years among ship captains going into battle. If he died, this note would go to his family. It read, "I did what was needed. Remember, Proxima, and remember that I love you all." William put the note back in the box and closed it. Then he touched a button on his desk. "Commander Bennett," he said, "please tell all ships, battle stations in 1 hour. We're almost there." Lisa's voice came back right away. "Yes, sir." William put on his uniform jacket and straightened it. He looked in the mirror and saw a determined man looking back. This wasn't just a rescue mission now. It was a message to the stars. Human lives were not currency. Humans were not to be threatened, not to be used as bargaining chips. The Varkani had not just taken hostages. They had awoken something ancient and fierce in the human spirit. Something that had helped humans survive and thrive through countless challenges on Earth. William left his quarters and walked toward the bridge. Crew members stood straighter as he passed. They saw in his face what they all felt, resolved determination. The time for talking was over. Now, humanity would answer the Varkani in the only language they seemed to understand, and the lesson would not need to be taught twice. The 7 ships of the Third Fleet arrived at the edge of the Proxima Centauri system. They slowed down from faster than light speed, their engines glowing as they prepared for battle. Enemy ship spotted, said Lieutenant Jack Nelson from his eyes, station on the Intrepid's bridge. 3 Varkani warships moving toward us, they're charging weapons. Admiral William Carter stood calmly in the center of the bridge. His blue uniform was perfectly straight, his face showing no fear. Hold position. Let them come to us. The Varkani ships moved forward in tight formation, their bug-like shapes glowing with energy as their weapons charged up. A message alert flashed on the main screen. Put it on screen, William ordered. The face of the Varkani High Commander appeared. His many eyes shimmered in the light of his ship. Human vessels, the computer voice translated. You have entered Varkani space, without permission. Turn around and go back to your homeworld now or we will destroy you. William's face remained calm. This is Admiral William Carter of the United Earth Defense Force. You are holding our people against their will. Release them now, and we will let you leave this system unhurt. The High Commander's mouth parts clicked rapidly, his way of laughing. You are in no position to make demands. We have already killed some of your people. Leave now, or we will destroy your ships and kill all the remaining hostages. We saw what you did, William replied, his voice cold as ice. And now you'll see what we do. Carter out. As the call ended, William gave a small nod to Lisa. Commander Lisa Bennett touched her earpiece. Strike Team Alpha, you are clear to go. On the dark side of Proxima Centauri B, hidden from Varkani sensors, 4 small black shuttles left the UES Phantom, a special ship designed for secret missions. The Phantom had arrived in the system hours earlier, using the planet to hide its approach. Lieutenant Daniel Perry led the strike team. Each soldier wore a special suit that could change color to match the surroundings, making them hard for Varkani eyes to see. Team moving to target. We'll be there in 15 minutes. William turned to his weapons officer. Lieutenant Nelson, start Phase 1. The battle began with a bright flash as the human fleet fired special missiles that created electromagnetic pulses. The Varkani, expecting normal weapons, were confused as their outside sensors went fuzzy. Now, Mr. Nelson, all ships, fire everything. The 3rd Fleet opened fire with all their main weapons. The space between the fleets lit up with energy beams and fast-moving bullets. The Varkani ships, with better technology but surprised by human battle plans, took heavy damage right away. Meanwhile, Daniel's team reached the space station holding the hostages. Using the main battle as a distraction, they attached to the station's hull near a small airlock used for repairs. We're on the station, Daniel reported over his radio. Starting to cut our way in. Inside the station, alarms were ringing as the Varkani realized they were being attacked from multiple directions. The High Commander had made a big mistake, putting too much attention on the human fleet while leaving the station with too little protection. The strike team moved quickly through the station's hallways, taking down Varkani guards with silent, precise shots. When they reached the central area where the hostages were kept, they found the remaining colonists grouped together, scared, but alive. United Earth Defense Force, Daniel announced, taking off his helmet to show his human face. We're here to take you home. One of the colonists, a young woman named Amy Rivera, stepped forward. Her clothes were dirty and torn, her face thin from not enough food. They killed 15 of us, she said, her voice shaking. Made us watch. Daniel nodded grimly. We know. And they'll pay for it. As the strike team began leading the hostages, out the battle in space got more intense. The Intrepid took a direct hit to its front section, making the whole ship shake. Shield generators 2 and 3 are offline, reported Chief Engineer Maria Lopez from her station. Redirecting power! William held onto his chair as the ship rocked. What's the status of the Varkani flagship? Their main weapons are disabled, Jack replied. They're trying to run away. Not yet. William's voice was hard. Target their engines. No one leaves until our people are safe. The Intrepid's remaining weapons locked onto the Varkani flagship and fired, destroying its engines. The alien ship hung in space, damaged, but not destroyed. Admiral, Lisa called out. Lieutenant, Perry reports all hostages secured. They're returning to the Phantom now. A cheer went up across the bridge. William allowed himself a small smile before getting back to work. Open a channel to the Varkani flagship. The High Commander appeared on screen again, but this time, his body language was different, no longer proud and threatening, but tense and defensive. Your hostages are back with us, William told him. Your station is under our control. Your ships are disabled. Now, we will discuss terms. We do not surrender, the High Commander hissed. Kill me if you must. We're not interested in killing you. William leaned forward in his chair. You're going to take a message back to your Imperium. He stood up, facing the alien directly. Humanity does not respond well to threats. We don't abandon our people, and we don't pay ransom. Ever. If you or any other species tries something like this again, our response will be the same. But next time, we won't leave anyone alive to carry the message. William motioned to Jack, who sent data to the Varkani ship. These are coordinates for the edge of human space. You will take your damaged ships and leave. You will not return to this system or any other place where humans live. The High Commander's many eyes stared at William. And if we refuse? Then, your ships will be destroyed, and we will deliver the message ourselves, directly to your homeworld. Hours later, the Varkani ships limped away from the Proxima Centauri system. The rescued colonists were welcomed aboard the human fleet. Doctors treated their wounds while counselors helped with their mental trauma. On the bridge of the Intrepid, Admiral William Carter watched the Varkani departure on the main screen. Commander Lisa Bennett joined him. Do you think they'll come back, sir? William thought about the question. Not anytime soon. They made a big mistake in how they judged humans. What's that? They thought our compassion was weakness, William replied. They didn't understand that the same part of us that makes us value each life also makes us fight like hell to protect those lives. When the fleet returned home, they received a hero's welcome. President Victor Ellis had addressed the United Nations. Today, humanity showed that while we want peace with other species, we will never allow threats against our people. The rescue of the Proxima Centauri colonists sends a clear message to the galaxy. Humans protect their own. We stand together against any threat. And to anyone who might threaten us in the future, know this: we do not pay ransom. Ever. The three words, remember Proxima, became a rallying cry across human space. A reminder of both what was almost lost and what was proven about humanity's place among the stars. Not as conquerors, not as victims, but as a species that would always stand its ground. Somewhere in the vast darkness of space, other civilizations were watching and learning.